Hello, and welcome to Nuts About Baseball, a podcast that will entertain you with discussions involving everything baseball. I'm your host, Joe Grimme, and I appreciate you joining me. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as I share my passion for the sport we call America's pastime. Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Nuts About Baseball. I'm your host, Joe Grimme, and today I've got a guest that is out on the road doing a 30 ballpark tour in 30 days by the name of Josh Ortega. Josh, thanks for joining me and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I think this is my second interview.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's going to be your last because you are doing something that I've never heard anyone else do. Let me just explain a little bit to my listeners what a ballpark chaser is, and most of them probably know, but basically, as you know and I know, it's someone who enjoys attending sports, games, events, anything at different venues, whether it be baseball, football, any sport in particular. And baseball, for whatever reason, seems to have just almost a cult-like following out there of people that want to hit every city in Major League Baseball, which is 30 right now. And, it's so popular. As you know, there are Facebook groups out there that I've joined, and there are over 80,000, 90,000 members in these groups. And it's just unbelievable where they post stories and they ask for advice and suggestions and things like that. And that's exactly how I found you. I was scrolling through my feed and you posted something that said 30 ballparks in 30 days, 2026. And it caught my eye and I said to myself, there's no way, that's impossible. And I jumped into your feed and I scrolled down and sure enough, that is what you were doing. And you're right now in the middle of it, basically, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So I have to ask this, what in the world, obviously you're a baseball fan, but what made you decide to attempt to do this 30 ballparks in 30 days?
I love baseball and I love traveling. And if I can do both those things at once, so why not? But no, in reality, it was originally my plan was to do a playoff race in September, roughly end of the year, because my birthday is at the end. It's literally at the end of September. Mm-hmm. And I always felt lucky that, I could have a birthday at such a time when, baseball is in full swing, the playoff race is on. And, but this year is a little different as I don't know if you and your listeners know, but it's the 250th birthday of our country.
Yeah.
And the Washington Nationals will be playing at home in Washington, D.C. on July 4th, 2026. And that is where my 30th ballpark will be.
That is really cool. I saw that as part of your post, and I think that makes so much sense. It's really cool. How long has this been on your bucket list to hit all 30 cities?
I started planning this right about last year, August, September timeframe, and it's been ever since the schedule came out, and it's just been little steps here and there of buying the plane ticket, buying the game ticket, knowing the route I'm going to take, how I'm going to get there. Yeah. And so it's been it's been a labor of love for, I'd say, the past year.
Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in San Diego. I was born in Chula Vista, California. Diehard Padres fan, and my family always took us to games, and it was just something that we loved to do. And another thing that I always felt like baseball was always calling to me because my birthday is it has a lot of memories with baseball. Like the last game of Qualcomm Stadium and the Padres playing there was on my 13th birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
And then on my 15th birthday, the Padres were in their new ballpark and they won the division in their second season there. So it's just been, and then every year since, it's just the same thing. It's end of the year. Where's the playoff race at? And so I just always felt a kinship and a connection to it.
Yeah. Big Padres fan still?
Oh yeah. I got a Tatis jersey. I got finally got the new brown cap and then the Tatis jersey, and it's I feel like that's been a labor of love more than anything else in my life.
It's a challenge sometimes, just like being a Cincinnati Reds fan, which is what I am.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, small world. So I've had Kyle Hart, one of your relief pitchers, on my podcast 2 times. His father-in-law is a good friend of mine, Chuck Heingardner. So shout out to Kyle. He's been very generous and has been a joy to talk to. And he's having a decent season. He's filling in some good times and need for that. And although I have a friend that I met out in spring training a couple years ago that's a big Padres fan, we were texting just the other day, and she asked if I thought Kyle Hart could hit because you guys are struggling at the plate, just like the Reds.
Oh yeah, I was. It's funny because yesterday I was in St. Louis and they were trying to avoid a sweep, and they finally opened up 6-1 against the Cardinals, and all I could think was, where has this been the rest of the year, guys?
Yeah, it's a struggle. It's challenging to be fans of the Reds and the Padres this year, but I would imagine they're going to turn it around. They've got some good ball players out there. So, what was the reaction from your family and friends when you officially announced that you were going to take this trip?
What is literally all I got, and it was, you're gonna do what? It was, yeah. Nobody could believe it. Nobody could really understand what it was. Because again, if 30-30 is something that only diehard baseball fans really understand, because we know how many teams there are, and so that's a very niche topic for a lot of people. But no, it was the same thing as everybody's been asking on this journey. What's the plan? What's the schedule? Where are you going next? How are you getting there? And it's just been constant repeating of, I'm going to fly here, take a bus there, take a train there. And my whole thing has been, I grew up very thrifty. My family wasn't rich or wealthy by any means by any stretch of the imagination. But the one thing I always did on the internet when I was buying anything was search price low to high, knowing what the cheapest prices were and where I could get the best deals. And it's so far, I think it's been pretty good doing that.
Well, 2 years ago, I went out to spring training in Arizona. And as you know, those ballparks are pretty close to each other. And I knocked out all 10 stadiums in 9 days. God love my wife, who did the whole tour with me. And we had a great time. And I thought that was challenging in and of itself. But 30-30 is unbelievable. Have you ever heard of anyone else that has attempted this or done this?
Yes, I have actually. I have the book with me. I'm carrying it with me right now. I've got two books I'm carrying with me, the King James Bible, and I hope I'm going to butcher the title of the book. I believe it's I Hope We Never Get Back, which is about two friends who drove this journey.
No way.
And the order is a little different than me. They're from back east, and they did it coming out west. I'm starting out west, going back east. But
Wow.
I've heard of it before, and I've studied a little bit what they did, and it's no journey like this is ever going to come easy, but it's going to be rewarding in the end, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. And what do you think has been the toughest part of putting the trip together? I mean, obviously trying to figure out the schedule and get to each city, but what was the toughest part? I know we talked offline. You're in Kansas City right now, and then after this game, you're heading to Seattle. Was that the toughest jaunt from one to one?
The toughest part is finding time to sleep and security.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I mean, I served in the military, and I've slept in some pretty uncomfortable spots. You know, being in the back of an up armored Humvee with a full ballistic vest on is no small feat. You know, sleeping upright, but it's a lot more comfortable when you're sitting in a bus station or a train station and just leaning on a metal chair. It's a little easier. Um, so that's been tough, but also my biggest gripe has been probably security because all I'm carrying with me is nothing more than a 12 by 12 by 6 clear backpack I bought on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still making me unload it.
Oh, really?
So they're still they try and look through it. I can tell some places are easier than others, and I can see that, but others they just the White Sox field wouldn't let me in at all. I had to go check it outside.
Hmm.
And then I heard Atlanta was a little tough, so I found a luggage service that I could for $5 they'd watch it for me, and A couple other places did that as well, and so that's probably been the hardest part. Those two things. But other than that, it's been a joy. Those if I overlook those two, it's been the time of my life.
Absolutely. So tell me and the listeners, what does a typical day look like for you during this trip so far? You what, day 13 or 14?
Well, I will wake up wherever I'm at, figure out wherever I'm at, what airport, train station, bus station, and find my schedule that I have written down. I have my notes app is full of my
Yeah.
schedule. And so I'll find where I'm supposed to be headed. A lot of my schedule is, unless it's a day game, it's very much travel in the morning, get there in the afternoon, go to the game. And it's funny because the journey started off rather easy, and now I'm finally starting to see the work
Hmm.
because the first game was in Phoenix, and I got to sleep in my own bed that night.
You live in Arizona.
Yes, and then the second night I was in San Diego, so I got to sleep at my family's house. But
Hmm.
then after that, it was a trek, just trying to find an Airbnb or a soft spot in the airport to sleep, and it's been a journey, but it's something that I wouldn't regret, and it's something that I've always wanted to do.
So do you have hotels or Airbnbs everywhere you're going, or do you just find something last minute each city?
I've only had an Airbnb twice. That was once in LA because I did Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium back to back,
Hmm.
and then once more in Chicago, doing the White Sox and the Cubs. And so it's that's pretty much been it. Everywhere else, I know people all across the country. Like I got to spent the night, had dinner, and spent the night at Army buddy's house in San Francisco or San Jose.
Okay.
Where else? But for the most part, no, it's just been trying to. Oh, my new friend in Minneapolis or St. Paul, he one of the chasers from my Facebook group. He met me at the stadium, and he let me crash on his couch in Minneapolis and St. Paul. So I'd like to shout out Twins fans for being um, very welcoming.
Absolutely.
They're a good crowd.
Yeah.
And then, but no, that's pretty much aside from those. It's just been finding a comfortable space to sleep, and luckily, flights and trains they've all been very comfy, and turbulence hasn't been too bad. So I've been able to sleep pretty straightforward on all those, and that's what I kind of planned it with. Because I grew up poor, so driving was where we got everywhere with driving. So knowing that I don't have to do anything now, I can just sit back, relax, and fly or ride on a train is really comforting to me. So I get a lot of my sleep on there.
So do you know off the top of your head, without looking at your notes, like how many flights, how many bus trips, or how many trains you've got in this entire trip?
It's been the most common question, and I actually have it. I did write it down, but I've repeated it so much I do have it memorized. It's 16 flights, 8 trains, 4 buses, and I even put on there 2 car commutes or 1 car commute now, actually, because I did the train in Chicago. So the only car commute, the only time I had to use a car really was my own car in Phoenix, but the rest of the time it's just been lifts, maybe here or there. But for the most part, 16 flights, 8 trains, and 4 buses.
Are you looking for a luxury property that has the balance of warmth and professionalism? Look no further than Weller House Bed, Breakfast, and Event Center in Bellevue, Kentucky. Enjoy a boutique accommodation that delivers exceptional hospitality and service, which is second to none. The two-room suites at Weller House include a whirlpool spa tub, fireplace, and a delicious breakfast that will provide an unforgettable experience. Need a place to book your event? Weller House also offers a renovated space that will accommodate up to 75 guests that is perfect for wedding showers, dinners, holiday parties, and much more. Call 859 391 8315 or visit their website at www.wellerhaus.com to book your stay or event now. And I assume your flight from, well, you're going to Seattle, and then where are you going after that? I think you said Dallas.
Yes, see the Rangers.
Gotcha. How many of these stadiums before you started this trip had you been to?
I'd only been to 4.
Really? Okay.
I grew up going to Pet. I went to Petco since it opened back in '04. We went to Angel Stadium when I was a kid. My dad's friend lived in LA and we went there. And I moved to Phoenix, so went to Chase Field a lot. And also I had been once before to San Francisco to go to a game with the Army buddy I said earlier. So I'm 26 of these places are all brand new, brand spanking new.
That's cool.
So it's definitely been worth it.
So far on this trip, has there been a stadium that has by far exceeded your expectations?
Yesterday, Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
I walked by the ballpark village they have, and I was just counting all the banners of all the World Series titles, and I just couldn't believe all that ran to their mind was that's a lot of World Series.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't root for them because they're in the NL Central like my beloved Reds, but I've been to Busch and it is phenomenal. It's a great, great venue.
Well, and the people too are incredible. That's where also been everyone has been very nice and very welcoming, and there hasn't really been a bad moment with too many people. Like I can count on one hand, maybe on one finger, one time a guy was maybe a little rude to me, but that was one guy. And
Hmm.
everywhere else, at 99.9% of the time, it's been a great journey with some great people.
Yeah. What fan base so far would you say has impressed you the most?
I'd say the Twins, not just because of the guy that let me crash on his couch, but that was the first place that somebody offered to buy me a beer.
Really?
Um, and then Milwaukee as well. They're a very good people. Actually, I would say the most because I grew up a Padres fan, and so I didn't know what Dodger fans were going to be like. But I went to Dodger Stadium, and everybody was so nice, and it was so welcoming, and I helped out them quite a few times, and they helped out me, and it was all just a great time being in this huge stadium.
Well, I mean, with so many games every day, you have to worry about weather issues. I think I saw on your post you did have a little bit of an issue. Was it Atlanta?
That's been the only one, actually. Every place I go, I put a little green check mark in my notes, and that's the only one that has a little rain emoji next to it.
That's pretty good so far. You've been to how many so far?
Today would be 14, so 13.
So you're almost halfway through. Well, I want to talk just briefly a little bit about a few of these that I saw you post about. San Francisco, that's probably my favorite that I've been to. I've been to 25 so far. I've got 5 to go. I've been doing it for over 30 years. I'm 53 years old, and you're going to knock it out in a month, which is kind of funny. But you saw a walk off there. Tell me about that game.
That was incredible. I mean, that fan base knows how to root for their team, and they know how to really rally their guys. But yeah, Nationals were up like 10-1 at one point, and
Jeez.
just little by little, the Giants ticked away and ticked away and ticked away. And next thing you know, I was sitting down. I snuck my way down to the right field corner,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember who was up to bat, but I just know, well, if he hits a home run here, it's over. And lo and behold, he did, and it was a walk off, and I just couldn't believe it.
That's cool.
It was, yeah, it was an incredible moment. And then probably the other one is in Chicago. I got to see Pete Crow Armstrong hit for the cycle, which was unreal.
Yeah, I saw that. That's neat. Yeah, that's great. Now, you had mentioned, and I don't know if it's still the case, but Coors Field, you had at that time said that was probably your favorite. Why did you say that?
Such crisp and clean and fresh air. I'd never been. The only time I'd been to Denver was for a layover. I never left the airport,
Mm-hmm.
and so to get out and see the city and get to see the, as I call it, the mile high line that they have around the stadium, and knowing and getting to know the people too. And I mean, it's such a beautiful place. They got the trees in the outfield and um, the Rocky Mountains in the distance. I mean, you can't really beat it.
Yeah.
It's one of the best views.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy that. We went there as well. One of my other favorites you've been to already is Milwaukee. Did you tailgate at all with anyone? Because I've never seen tailgating at a baseball game like I saw in Milwaukee.
No, so that's funny actually. That was the only time a delay really caused any kind of headache.
Oh,
Um, the train that I was taking from St. Paul to Milwaukee was delayed by like 3 hours,
oh,
and so I had to rework some things, and I only missed the first inning, which was not too bad considering. But
That's pretty good.
I grew up tailgating. So San Diego before Petco, Qualcomm it had a big parking lot, and tailgating was something that we just did. It wasn't anything new. It was always something I had known about. And
Hmm.
so when I hear people say we don't tailgate here, I'm like, wow, what's going on?
Well, they do it a lot for football games here in Cincinnati at the Bengals, but not the Reds. And when I've been to Milwaukee a few times, and every time I go, it's just amazing. It seems like it's a Sunday afternoon for a football game. But I asked one of the ushers, I said, "Do they do this every game?" And he said they did. It's unbelievable. They party up there, and
I got invited back. I told people I'll be back to tailgate with you guys because yeah, I miss tailgating.
yeah, absolutely. Well, like I've said, you're almost halfway there. You're going to see the Royals tonight, and you're going to be in Cincinnati, which is where I am, June 24th on Wednesday. And I am definitely going to be at that game. And I'm going to buy you a beer if you don't mind. We'll hook up, and I want to meet you face to face and watch a little of that game together if you don't mind.
I look forward to it. In a Great American Ballpark. There's a space in between. I looked that up.
That is
Um,
true.
yeah, Great American Ballpark is actually one that I'm looking forward to because the Padres played there quite a bit on TV, and to get to see it in real life. No, and I heard that the river, and there's a river behind the right field bleachers. It's
Yep.
what river is that?
That's the Ohio River. You're correct. Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's something like that. Like knowing that, like it's like in San Francisco or Pittsburgh, like you have a body of water behind the ballpark is quite geography lesson for you. But yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's a really neat setting. You see the other side of the river, which is Kentucky, and that's technically where I live. But we're 5 minutes just across the river, and it's a nice ballpark. And I will definitely say, if you have time, I don't know what time you're rolling in, but we'll talk about that offline. But we have one of the best, if not the best, Hall of Fames across the country, from what I've read, and you might have seen those posts on Facebook. But yeah, I don't know if you have time to stop in there and check it out, but it is phenomenal. We've done a good job of putting a lot of nostalgia in our Hall of Fame.
I will definitely do my best. I think I've seen enough of these stadiums to know that I accomplished my mission. But yeah, you can't see it all in one
No,
day.
no way.
There's just way too much.
No. Well, I am very envious of you. I don't know that I could ever pull this off. You've inspired me, though, to make plans to knock out the last 5 cities on my bucket list of hitting all 30. I'm going to continue to watch your Facebook posts, and I encourage everyone to go out there and, either look at ballpark chasers or stadium chasers, whatever these Facebook groups are called, or search your name, Josh Ortega, and follow your journey, because it's been really enjoyable to watch. You post something every time, and you've got some great pictures and talk about the people that you're meeting. And I hope everything continues for you successfully and safely. And I thank you for your time. And again, we're going to talk after you're done with all this, and we're going to have another episode, and we can hear about the entire trip overall.
I appreciate that. It's been a heck of a journey. All the support I get online. It's like I said, 99.9% is all love, nothing but love, and it's that little 0.01% that I ignore and I don't care about. But everybody's been great and everybody's been wonderful. And what's not to love about America's pastime? It's a great sport and it's full of great people. And I can't wait to meet you in person and anybody else that has sees me out there. Say hi. I'm 6'2", and I got a pretty cool T-shirt on that's I custom made myself. So yeah, if you see me out there, say hi. And I look forward to seeing you and anybody else that is out there on my journey.
Absolutely. I'm going to post this in the group when I get it published, and I'm going to do it as soon as possible so that hopefully people listen to it and follow your journey and then hook up with you when you are in their hometown. So best of luck finishing this thing, safe travels, and I will see you next week.
Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. See you next week.